Hello family. There's a lot of information in this video, so bear with me if you will. I just ask that you watch the whole thing, as all the pieces that I'm going to share are super important. Anyway, it's been a few weeks since I sent out the first video update regarding COVID-19, and nearly everything has changed at least a few times since my last video. Not least of which is that I'm thankfully feeling much more comfortable this time with my beard back. I am very thankful that the CDC didn't actually say that shaving was necessary and that I can get back to not looking like a child priest. That being said, much of what I said in the last video hasn't changed. Our call remains to love God with all of our heart, mind, soul, and strength, and to love our neighbors as ourselves. I think we have all done our absolute best through the use of Slack and Facebook to accomplish both these tasks so far. Switching to being a church that functions entirely online has been at times tedious and has had its own share of growing pains along the way. But God honors, I believe, the intentions of our heart. And we have continued to pursue these things, albeit dispersed. As most of you have probably heard by now, the governor has opened the door to allow for us to gather again as of this coming Sunday, provided that we can properly distance and use other precautionary measures. To this, my encouragement would be to first take a slow, deep breath. Now, I realize about half of you are probably already running out to pick out your Sunday outfit for when we regather again, and the other half are probably sinking into a panic because you're far from ready to be around other people again. The truth is, we're all dealing with this whole thing differently, and I want to honor that. To be completely honest, I myself have deeply struggled with this decision of when is the right time to begin to regather the church. In this struggle, it's been a great encouragement to me to be a part of a tradition that measures time not in days or minutes or even years, but in centuries. The church has endured far worse things throughout its history and come out the other side better off for it. So we will make it through this, and we will be better off for it. I believe that God has promised to work all things together for the good of those who love Him. And I wouldn't even begin to guess at how all that's going to work out, but the truth is that simply this is a promise, and we can stand on God's promise because He is a trustworthy God. He will work this for our good. So taking a deep breath and trusting God is the first step, but it isn't the only step. Our total plan is still being discussed and discerned between myself and the Vision Steering Committee. And we should have more info on that within the coming week, but here is what we know for sure at this point. First, we are not going to be the first church to open. We are not in a hurry to reopen the church because it never closed. We adapted and adjusted the format and have continued to accomplish our mission in the city and in the world. We have worshiped together every single week. We have allocated $50,000 of our rainy day fund to sacrificially care for those affected by this crisis, and we have already seen God provide us opportunities to care for folks. We also sent $15,000 to our sister parish in Rwanda for both the completion of their building and the feeding of people due to the loss of income in relation to the social distancing parameters their government has put in place. We've had opportunities to pray together each day, Monday through Saturday, in the morning and the evening. Brothers and sisters, the church is alive and well, so we will take our time because we aren't reopening, we are simply regathering. Two, when we do gather, we will follow all of the guidelines and best practices lined out by the governor, as well as following the advice of the church's best minds on how to safely gather. This is another reason why we are taking our time with all of this. This is a lot of information to wade through. We will release a more detailed plan for what all this looks like soon, but be prepared to be asked to serve in all sorts of unique ways as we seek to love each other and our neighbors through safe gathering. 3, we will be maintaining an online presence at least through the end of this year. This will allow anyone who is sick or feels vulnerable to continue to participate in worship from home. It'll be critical that we are wise about when we choose to come and when it might be a better idea for us to stay home. And 4 is finally, it'll be absolutely critical in this season to stay tuned to all of our communication channels. Our primary and quickest means of communication in this season has been the Slack platform. And I know most of you have made it on there at some point or another, but in order for it to be an effective communication platform for us, we all need to turn on our notifications within Slack. We will send out all of the most important details in emails as well, so keep an eye out for those as well. Brothers and sisters, our God is in control, and in His presence, and in the presence of His perfect love, all fear is cast out. So we will continue to do what we've done all along. We will continue to seek to love God with all of our hearts, mind, soul, and strength, and we'll seek to love each other and our neighbors as ourselves. And when that day comes, when it is again safe to gather, it will be indeed a joyous day. God bless you all.